Hello, my name is Carly Sherman, and this is my husband Jordan Sherman, and we are both on staff with Campus Ventures in different capacities. So we're here to tell you about that ministry, how you can partner with us in our work with college students and recent graduates. And yeah, we're just really excited to tell you about what we're passionate about. So with that, we're just gonna share our screen here. And that's wrong. Slideshow.
Alrighty. So as you can see there, I'm with CVNext here in Spearfish, and Carly is with Campus Ventures at Black Hills State University.
And we're both full-time staff. So we're just gonna start by telling you about Campus Ventures, which is the college ministry that I'm on staff with. And so Campus Ventures, in a nutshell, is an interdenominational college organization. And that just means we invite all denominations to join us in worshiping God. And Campus Ventures was created for the purpose of helping students who are interested in becoming more like Christ. And we do that in a lot of ways, just coming alongside students. And we'll tell you more about that in a little bit. And just so you know a little history, Campus Ventures began in '91 at the University of Wyoming. And the founder actually is about to move right here to Spearfish. So that's pretty cool. Dave Metters. Our mission with Campus Ventures is to glorify God by knowing and loving Him and leading others to be devoted disciple makers of Jesus Christ.
So our vision with Campus Ventures is spiritual reproduction. So this looks like we try to meet with students regularly during the school year. So we have one-on-one relationships, discipleship, mentorship with a student, and the hope is what we teach them, they take and they share with someone else. So then hopefully they'll be sharing with someone, and we'll continue to meet with them, and then we'll meet with someone else. It will continue to multiply. So there are 6 campuses with Campus Ventures. It started at the University of Wyoming, as Carly mentioned. There's one at Casper College in Casper, Wyoming, one at Northwest College in Powell, Wyoming, one here in Spearfish at Black Hills State University, and then one at the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology in Rapid City, South Dakota. And then this last year, they just started a ministry at Chadron State College in Chadron, Nebraska.
So our mission field, or my mission field specifically, is the campus at Black Hills State University. And so I just looked up these numbers for this year, 2022. The enrollment, I guess this is technically enrollment from last year, was 3,539. The student body, 75% are from South Dakota, 25% from 43 other states, and then we have international students representing 31 countries. And yeah, I really love the international students. God has given me a big heart for them and just befriending them and sharing the gospel with them. So I'm always really excited to meet the ones who only stay for a semester, or especially it's great when they stay for like 4 years. So every fall or every January when a new semester starts, me and my other staff members that I'm on a team with, were presented with this challenge that it's like a challenge and an opportunity, because college freshmen really are impressionable and vulnerable. And in my case, and for a lot of people, it was figuring out what they believe apart from their parents. And so, yeah, this is a time when we really want to come alongside students and show them that the path of following Jesus is the best path they can take in life. But yeah, just knowing that lifelong college friendships are built within the first 3 weeks of school. That also means that students are creating habits that can last them, throughout college, throughout their whole lives, in those first few weeks of school too. So we really try to be as present as possible on campus. We seek them out. We're always just sitting on campus, like praying for opportunities to meet people. We even have like an ice cream breakfast the first week of school where we meet a lot of people and make a lot of contacts. And then that night is usually our first large group meeting. So yeah. Hopefully this works, but this is a little video just sharing a little more of the personal side of Campus Ventures for me. My dad gave a speech at our wedding, just talking about how touched he was by Campus Ventures and how God used it in my life as a college student. And then he also speaks into just the value of one person pouring into another, which he is talking about my roommate, Allie, who is a part of Campus Ventures with me. Which did not want to do that. Let's see if it works.
I'll just tell you what I noticed from the moment that Carly walked on the campus. It was a rainy day, and I had a truck full of stuff that was really heavy. And I thought, how am I going to get this, up to that? I guess it was the second floor. And these people swooped in on our truck. And I was soaking wet, and Sandy was soaking wet. It was Connections Church, and it was you guys. And then I found out later that Carly continued to do that for the freshmen that were coming in, later. So thank you for all your leadership, Dave, and now Shane. It blessed me to hear about her and her growth. And I want to toast Allie. Allie, when Carly was doing Instagram and Facebook as a freshman, she was reading God's word and worshiping Him every morning. And Carly told me later that she noticed that. Began to embrace your daily routine and then making it hers. Thanks.
Yeah, I just love that video just because it does speak into personally how CV has impacted me and how I've seen it impact a lot of students. So if you're wondering specifically what we do throughout the week, we do a lot. One of the ways that we connect with a lot of students at once is our large group meetings, which take place on Tuesday nights. During this time, we usually have some students leading some musical or non-musical worship. We usually have our director, Shane, speaking on a certain topic, a certain book of the Bible, or just like a spiritual discipline, just a way to walk with Jesus in life. And sometimes he'll invite me to speak on a certain topic or our other staff members. And so, that's nerve-wracking, but fun too. We also, of course, have small group Bible studies. So this was a Bible study that I was a part of when I was a sophomore in college. And as you can see, we all just got really close from studying the Bible together. We usually have a few going at once. We did Romans a couple years ago. We did Luke last year. And we usually get a lot of involvement in those. And then similar to small group Bible studies, there's discipleship groups. So I was a part of one in college, which is those top 2 photos, and the bottom one is a D group that I led with Alyssa, who is right here. And she's a student that I'm personally discipling. But discipleship groups, we're still studying the Bible, but there's weekly homework that students will take home, do the homework, and then they bring it to D group so we can discuss it as a group. And this just helps lead us into even more deep discussions. It's also a requirement to show up every week unless you're sick or there's an emergency. And so it just enables students to get a lot closer in a shorter period of time. And we have 3 levels of material that students can go through, which can sometimes take 3 years. So yeah, the hope is that, you know, students will stick it out and really form deep connections, and especially deepen relationship with God. And like Jordan mentioned earlier, we really focus on one-on-one discipleship. So these are personal examples for me of discipleship that I've experienced. So on the left, Brandy discipled me for 2 years until she moved overseas for a little bit. Then Mandy, and Mandy actually discipled Brandy at one point, so it's cool to see some full circle stuff there. And I just learned so much from these ladies. They really just taught me what it looks like to walk with Jesus outside of college. And specifically one story with Brandy was, I just didn't really know how to get into the Bible in general when I was a freshman in college when she first started discipling me. So she just opened up the book of Matthew with me and just started reading it out loud with me. And just seeing her excitement for the word, like, helped me to get excited about getting into it. And when she would say, wow, this is amazing, I would be like, actually, yeah, that is amazing. And then on the very right, that's Susan, who I got to disciple for 2.5 years. And it was really a joy to pour into her. Oh, and I'm wearing the same shirt as in that photo. And then we also have our servant team, which is really awesome. So this is just a group of students who have been impacted enough by CV that they want to take the next step and serve the ministry and serve the staff team and help us to put on CV every week. So this can look like a lot of different things: volunteering to do slides for a large group, leading a Bible study, or just doing like service projects around the community to show people Jesus' love. And so this is a slightly outdated photo of our servant team Christmas party. And a lot of the adults you see in that picture are still most of our staff members. And yes, we also have, of course, summer missions and projects, which Jordan and I both got to participate in. Project Impact is located in Denver every year, and students just get to stay on the campus at Colorado Christian University and learn every single night different things about following Jesus and discipleship and evangelism. And they also have full-time jobs while they're there. So that's the picture on the right. And on the left was my team that went overseas with me. So they also send people overseas to share the good news. So specifically what I do, I help out with a lot of these things that were previously mentioned, but I also individually disciple women. I can meet with anyone, anywhere from like 1 to 4-ish women weekly. Of course, I help with large group meetings, outreach events. I have yet to plan and organize a retreat, but I'm sure that's coming soon. Work with the servant team, lead Bible studies or D groups. All staff members spend a specific amount of time on campus every week to make connections with students. And I have a heart for international students, so I am praying for ways to just specifically connect with them. Whoops. And lastly, for me, why I'm passionate about, CV at Black Hills State. I feel like that video of my dad just talking about the personal impact really sums it up well, that God just changed the trajectory of my life through the ministry of Campus Ventures. He really set me on the right path of following him in life. And so I just really felt it impressed on my heart to continue to be a blessing to future generations and hopefully, impact lives for Jesus Christ. Oh, and if you're wondering, this bottom photo is our current staff team.
Yeah, so what I'll be doing is I'll be working with CVNext. So CVNext started because of the trend that Dave Hughes, who was in a previous picture, who's the former director of Black Hills State University, noticed in recent graduates finding themselves at a loss in how to continue to figure out life and faith in the quote-unquote real world out of college. And so CVNext is an after-college ministry that's dedicated to encouraging former CV students to keep the faith as they enter adulthood. In our system, there's a little over 2,000 alumni in our database, so we've been using that as a base of connecting with alumni and trying to network with them. So what will I be doing specifically is I'll be meeting with upperclassmen, juniors and seniors, encouraging them to get connected with a church and like-minded group outside of college. Ways that we'll be doing this is through senior retreats, campus visits to all the campuses that Campus Ventures is on, check-ins with recent graduates, and more. As I said earlier, I'll be networking with alumni to follow up and encourage them just to continue pursuing the Lord in their day-to-day lives. And I like to think of this as we will be the physical example of the letters that Paul sent to the early Christian churches, praying on behalf and for these students as they seek God's will in the next steps of life. So this last spring, we had a CVNext retreat. So this is for these upperclassmen as an opportunity to get together and share stories. So what we did was myself and Brandy McLeod, the other staff member besides Dave Hughes, we each shared kind of our experiences outside of college with these students. And it was fun just to encourage them to continue pursuing the Lord in whatever it is outside of college, whether in work or play, for God's glory. So in these pictures here, pictures to the right are the students that attended. And it was just a really restful and encouraging time for both the students and the staff. And one of the students even mentioned that this was the most restful retreat they'd ever been to. So it was just a really nice time. So why I'm passionate about CVNext is when I graduated college, I had community. I was involved at Campus Ventures at the School of Mines in Rapid City, my first year outside of college, and volunteered staff there. And I was heavily involved in a church, but I still noticed a difference in just kind of feeling like, a little bit on my own and navigating how to take initiative without being a part of something where a lot of the initiative is taken for me in many ways. So I think why I'm passionate about CVNext is I knew how much of a struggle it was for me outside of college with community, and I know how much more it is for students that are leaving college and going somewhere for a job where they don't know anyone or are involved in any kind of church or small group Bible study or anything that's pushing them to continue to pursue the Lord. So I really just want to be there for students and recent graduates and alumni, just to encourage them and push them to continue to fight the good fight. So.
Oh, and then do you want to say who's in the
Oh,
picture?
sure. So in this picture here, left to right, is Brandy McLeod. She's on staff with me, and then that's me in the middle, and then the director of CVNext is Dave Hughes there on the right. So how we'll get to be able to do this this fall is we are building a team of individuals who support our ministry through prayer and or finances. So this income will support us so we can be fully dedicated to our work with students and alumni. In order to do this, we will need to raise a minimum of $6,000 per month. Currently, in our fundraising, we are at about $3,700. So as soon as this team is complete, we can report to our individual assignments. So our commitment to our partners is to work diligently to touch the lives of students for Jesus Christ, to regularly let you know how God is blessing the ministry through our email and physical letter updates. And we commit to be financially faithful with the funds that are given to us for the ministry, and to continue to share prayer concerns with one another, praying for you guys and giving you our prayer requests as well for what we're doing, what God's doing here in Spearfish.
Okay, so this just illustrates just the reason why we can trust God with, with just the task set before us. It's because God provides for people that are sharing the good news of Jesus with others. And so just this little comic says that biblical giving means donors give to God vertically, and because donors give to God, missionaries receive from God vertically. So we believe that this process of giving to our ministry, you're not giving to us, you're giving to God, because all of our money is God's anyway. And so that's how we desire to live our lives too. And we just are constantly asking God, how he wants us to support what he's doing in different areas that aren't campus ventures and things like that. And so, because we believe that we receive directly from God, we know that we can trust him to provide what we need. And 2 Corinthians 9:5-15, but specifically verse 9, also illustrates this really well. Just talks about missionary work. And it says, and God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that having all sufficiency in all things at all times, you may abound in every good work. And the good works being just like good works with God and for God. Finally, your partnership really can make a difference in reaching people for Christ and encouraging them to keep the faith. Even just us too, our stories are testaments to that. And so we'd love it if you would prayerfully consider partnering with the two of us in the ministry of Campus Ventures and CVNext with a monthly gift of 30, 60, 100, just anything that God puts on your heart. And we also are blessed by one-time gifts. And also, if there's anyone else that you know of that might be interested in this, we'd love it if you would pass on this video to them, or even better, our contact information. And so we really appreciate you tuning in, and we look forward to talking to you more about this in person soon. And do you have anything else?
I like so.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, and we'll see if I can figure out how to stop this.